So I found out about this because this clip ended up on the internet. You leave your computer on for 3 days? My computer never turns off. I never turn my computer off. I don't remember the last time I've turned my computer off. I put it to sleep sometimes. You have to understand, I spend almost all day on my computer. If I'm not working, which is most of my day, I'm playing video games. Denims, what the fuck? Don't you update Windows when they force me to? Yeah. If I have to. Okay. So this was the post that I saw, and this is what made me look into this in the first place. And I thought it was a very undeveloped story, for a lack of better words. And now we've gotten more information. So I'll show you guys. We'll go in order of how I found everything.
It makes sense.
This is titled, "A Viewer Asked Asmongold About the Recent Charity Scandal Article," and it goes as expected.
Name's nobody. Check my previous messages, please. I got a story for you. I don't care. What are you talking to me? I'm banning you. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care about your problem. You're annoying. Mod should have banned you already. Anyway, let's see the rest of this. Close door. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. And
spoiler alert. They are, I believe OTK is currently suing Softgiving. This is already something that's trying to be like taken care of. There's no reason to do it on the internet and make it into this fucking gigantic drama shit. So I'm just going to say that to start with. I read something about that. Yes. Yes. So I know what you're thinking. What is this? What is this scandal? Like, what am I fucking looking at? I don't know what's happening. That is exactly what I said when I saw that. And I guess somebody links in the Reddit post, this specific Twitter user called Jacob Wolf. Okay, and this guy, Jacob Wolf, says, "I want to make this clear re our reporting. I have no idea what Asmongold and the OTK team knew or did not know about Softgiving / Brandfluence's relationship with the charities. They didn't talk to us. I do, however, find it odd that the story is being purposefully ignored for them. To have Hassan's manager, XQC Austin, and the Botez's agency, Ludwig himself, and just about every other influencer we reached out to promptly talk to us was notable. I've pinged OTK folks for more than 10 times over 2 years and have gotten no response." And then he links the article that he wrote about this topic. Now, I'm going to go in with dude, I hate when the dark reader doesn't work. This is the one thing that sucks. When the dark reader doesn't work, whatever. We'll just turn it off and get flashbanged. Now, I'm going to go in with my own... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to turn it off for this specific website. Oh, God, I changed the settings across the board. No. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. I think I raised the brightness too much. There we go. Flashbang. That emote's pretty good. So this is my personal read on the situation. From my guess on this, because this guy Jacob Wolf that wrote this article, which we're gonna skim through. This article is long as hell. This guy is definitely a leftist because this shit. Stop it. Stop it. Look at how long this is. I'm not reading all that. I already read it once. I'm saying I'm not reading it all out loud to you guys. I'm not trying to have the driest throat on the planet afterward. Okay. I will go through the highlights of what I read. Okay. Now, this guy, Jacob Wolf, says his name is banned in Asmongold's chat. Now, I'm going to say, personally, my read on the situation, considering that Asmongold just today, I guess, or like somebody else clipped Asmongold just today with this. I'll pull it up. This is titled, "The lawsuit made me ban the word charity, I swear." Wow, this guy really doesn't like Asmongold. That's a Also, you can tell this guy's an idiot because he doesn't know how to spell charity. Oh, wait. No, that's the name of the company. I guess? Wait. No. So charity spelled like that is in fact a company. However, Softgiving has nothing to do with this, I'm pretty sure. Charity says that it is it's for improving our community through creativity and design. Charity is an annual event hosted by two where creative volunteers auction off their designs. So, anyways, moving on. Let's go from there.
I haven't talked about the big thing that there's a lawsuit about. Did anybody else? We know? Yeah, big fucking surprise, guys. Jesus.
The fact that they focus only on the content creators, but not Softgiving.
Rest assured, after it's over, I will have something to say.
So I think what people are failing to recognize is that Shut the Fuck Up Friday is every single day. And if your lawyers tell you to shut the fuck up, you listen to them. I assure you what happened is they found out about this. They called up their lawyers and their lawyers said, don't talk about it on stream at all. We will work on this lawsuit. Okay. And I will tell you, there is nothing more annoying. And man, what a universe. What a universe that 2024, I find myself defending Asmongold. Jesus fucking Christ. I can assure you, this motherfucker, this guy on the screen right here, this guy will talk shit immediately if he can. He will voice every opinion, no matter how fucking stupid it is. That's why he compared fucking Andrew Tate's arrest to MLK. All right? This guy will say anything on his mind. He is not talking about this because he's trying to hide some shit or because he's trying to throw some shit under the rug or whatever. He's listening to his lawyers, and his lawyers are telling him, don't fucking talk about it. Just don't fucking talk about it until after the lawsuit. All right? Don't. This guy is the king of talking, okay? Put on some fucking tavern music, and this guy will tell you his life story, okay? I am almost 100% certain that this is only and exclusively just, I want to win this lawsuit. I'm not talking about this. And I will tell you, when you are trying your hardest to not talk about a topic on stream and there's people that keep coming in every single day being like, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about this? And it's like, because I don't give a fuck. Okay? If some drama YouTuber did a video on me and then people just kept spamming, like, are you going to watch it? Or going to watch it? No, we're not going to watch it. I'm not going to give these people the attention they want. And after a certain point, it gets really fucking annoying. Okay? I think, in my opinion, the people at OTK learned their lesson with the sexual assault stuff. And they learned we shouldn't get on stream and start talking about it. We should listen to our fucking lawyers. Okay? So, is it possible that they were doing shady shit? Yeah, of course. Anything is possible. I don't know the details of what their contract looked like with this charity. Okay? Is it also possible that they didn't know and that they got scammed as well? Yeah, it's also possible. I don't think it's worth talking about or like guessing what their motives were and being like, see, the fact that he doesn't want to talk about it means that they were doing shady stuff. I'm not going to speculate on that. That's fucking stupid. Let the lawsuit be completed. Let's talk about what we know, and then we'll go from there. It is a perfectly normal thing that if you were in a lawsuit to not talk about it anywhere. Okay? This yearly Asmund W. Yeah. Listen, man, unfortunately, I like to give people their W's when I can. And this is something that I think if you want to make fun of Asmongold, you want to criticize him for stuff, criticize him. Criticize him all you want. At least once a month, I feel like I do it, okay? Speculating on this shit when there's a very clearly simple reason why he's not talking about it. Let's just be reasonable people. You know what I mean? Let's just be reasonable people. All right. It's a bit rough that Asmund is getting his annual W out of the way in January. Long year ahead. Oh, gosh. Okay. Also, from my knowledge, Jacob Wolf isn't saying that the people streamers are involved with Softgiving weren't the ones at fault. The article is solely about Softgiving's alleged malpractice. Yes. 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 But if you are someone who doesn't want to talk about this at all until the lawsuit is over, having people like Jacob Wolf constantly bringing up your name, it's probably pretty fucking annoying. And if I was in that position, I would probably ban that person's name as well. Because it's like, just leave me the fuck alone on this topic. Just let me sue these fuckers for scamming us. Please. You know what I mean? So, and you guys can trust my stance on this one, okay? Because there's only one person in OTK that I watch, okay? And that's Extra Emily. So I have no personal bias on any of this shit, okay? FR. All right. Or sorry, positive bias, I guess. Okay. Well, you know what? I also like watching NMP. But that's because I like watching NMP stream because I like watching Milena. Because Milena's really funny. So that's also, yes, that stream as well. Okay, that stream as well. Moving on. Moving on. So he writes up this article. This guy, Jacob Wolf, writes up this article, and he says, Charity for Profit, a look at the company that made millions off of Twitch's most watched fundraising streams. And it says here, the marketing agency behind Twitch's most successful streams for fundraising quietly collected 42% of the donations. I didn't see that, Marianne. Which is a lot. And then this guy describes, this guy is a fucking chatty Cathy. Oh my God. He describes like the stream that they did. They raised, it was a stream with Asmongold, Mizkif, S-Fan, NMP, and Rich Campbell. And they raised more than $600,000 for Games for Love. Except, according to public records, almost half that money didn't get to the charity. I'm skipping a lot of the filler text, in my opinion, filler text. And then it says in 2020 and 2021, Softgiving and those influencers raised a total of $6.2 million in donations, according to publicly available tax records. Yet $2.6 million of that, roughly 42%, went to Softgiving to cover its commission and expenses, including influencer fees. Okay. And this is very important. I would love to see the breakdown of what the commission and expenses are. I didn't actually think about going through the tax records and seeing how they broke down there. Can I even do that successfully? expenses. Wow, so useful. Notable expenses. Professional fundraising fees. 6 million. Doesn't fucking tell me jack shit. Doesn't tell me anything, okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Love that. Okay. And in the article, this guy says, you know, he's not claiming that the creators are at fault. He is claiming that at the very least, Softgiving is at fault and is scamming creators, and that some creators got paid and some creators did not get paid. And so on and so forth. And it says this, Softgiving didn't just take a cut of the funds raised, though. In some cases, charities that signed up to work with Softgiving on events would agree to cover influencers' fees, including some above tens of thousands of dollars. But when the charities couldn't afford to cover those costs, Softgiving would step in by paying the influencers and then reimbursing itself from the donation pool. According to the accounting provided by Softgiving to certain charities and public records. So this is a pretty normal thing. The aspect of paying people to promote your charity. Think about all of the actors. You guys ever see those billboards of like charities and there's some actors on that? I promise you all those people are getting paid. Okay? It's pretty fucking normal within our capitalist framework that if you want people to promote your charity, you have to pay other people to advertise it for you. It's how it works. It's across the board how it works, right? Now, some people push for charities despite not making money off of it, and that's really cool and based. But most companies that are trying to, or sorry, not companies, sorry, most charities that are trying to raise money will take some money and they will pay advertising fees, essentially. And so what this paragraph is saying essentially is the charities that were working with Softgiving, so let's say Games for Kids, I just made some shit up. They're working with Softgiving. Games for Kids says, hey, we'll pay each influencer $5,000 if they do a stream for us and they raise money for us. And then the charities didn't have the money to pay and to cover those costs. And so Softgiving scrapes off the top from the donation pool to go pay the creators. And the creators have no idea that the money is being skimmed off the top to cover it, right? Or at the very least, there are some number of creators that did not know about this happening. Okay? Let's talk about some of the details on this. All right. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else in this article that I wanted to talk about. Oh, there was a section on Hassan here. That was interesting. In February 2023, Softgiving received its most publicity to date following devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. One of Twitch's most watched streamers, Hassan Piker, was determined to raise money for disaster victims. Born in the U.S. to Turkish parents, but later raised in Istanbul, Piker recovered the news of earthquakes on February 6th. One day later, Piker and Softgiving teamed up to launch a campaign to benefit CARE. Donations quickly rushed in. About halfway through the stream, things took a turn. On Twitter, Joshua Belkin, a former Tiltify software engineer, leaked a seemingly templated version of Softgiving's commission-based contract, which matched the contract that Machuga provided to the Jacob Wolf report in 2022. The document showed that Softgiving proposed to receive 50% of donations after reimbursement of expenses and transaction fees. Those on Twitter and Piker's Twitch tab became livid, as Piker also grew more incensed, confused by what Belkin had posted. And he says, this makes me so frustrated that I don't, one person posts, this makes me so frustrated that I donated to Hassan's campaign. What a corrupt and dishonest practice. Criticizing, I guess, like Softgiving. Social media turned on Piker. Some alleged that Piker took the money himself. Others called him a hypocrite. Another influencer, iShowSpeed, who had donated $8,000 to the relief campaign, called the stream a scam and went to pledge another $50,000 to the cause. In the next 3 days, Piker raised more than $1 million for CARE. His manager, David Hunsinger of Night Media, told the Jacob Wolf Report Softgiving that Softgiving provided him receipts showing that 100% of the funds, minus normal transaction fees, were donated to CARE. It's unclear what sort of relationship Softgiving had with CARE. I wish I could see this email. Fuck. I want to see it. And I also don't even remember this stuff happening. What does Tiltify have to do with Softgiving? Nothing. It's just someone who worked at Tiltify said, hey, look at this contract. The company, nothing to do with it. It's a worker, an ex-Tiltify worker that happened to start leaking some stuff. Okay? Happening at Softgiving. So, on February 9th, Softgiving responded with a series of statements on Twitter. It said the leaked contract wasn't for a current partner. It also said that 6% of the charities it worked with paid an upfront fee for its services. 92%, it said, paid nothing at all. Okay, and then trying to see what else is in this article that I remember reading that I wanted to talk about. Because if I tried to read this entire article, we would be here all stream. We'd be here for 12 hours. And then here we go. Now, this is sort of the really bad thing. In my opinion, this is the worst thing about all of this. Okay? This is from 2022. It says representation of 2 contracts in the last 12 months. And it has contracts that have an upfront fee and contracts that have a performance fee. It says charity net 77%, giveaway 9%, streamer 8%, Softgiving gross profit. I love charities for profit, 6%. And then we have the gross profit raised to 10%, streamer 18%, giveaway 14%, charity 58%. TLDR on this, there were some people that accepted a contract for an upfront fee, and the contracts that people accepted for that, excuse me. The contracts that were signed with an upfront fee raised about $430,000. And almost a quarter of it went elsewhere, not to the charity. And there was also contracts for performance fees, and only out of the $150,000 that was raised in 2022, only 58% of that went to the actual charity. So let's talk about some things, huh? Shall we? Let's discuss, because this is a complicated topic. And it's very easy to say, this is so gross. Unbelievable. I hate all these people. Very easy to say that. So let's get a little bit more into the sauce, shall we? Tax evasion count. We're actually going to do a 12-hour one soon, but I have to come up with ideas. Okay. Let's talk about some stuff. First off, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. Obviously, the company profiting and like just skimming for themselves is very bad. Okay. Obviously, the lack of transparency is very bad. I think if you have your charity stream on the screen and you say that there's a high overhead cost and 42% is going to overhead, then I think it's fine again. Then I think it's completely fine, right? So if I did a charity stream and I was like, hey guys, just so you know, for like, and I had it on my screen the entire time saying like, this percent of the money is going here, I think it's fine. Because people are donating knowingly. There's no hidden information. People are not under any assumptions. Because I think when most people are under assumption, they assume that if they donate $10, at least $8 of it will go to the charity. At least that's where I am at. Whenever I donate to a charity, I expect the most to be 20%. Okay? I don't think most people donate $10 expecting 5 of it to go to the charity. If you have the transparency on your screen, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Because at that point, you're making an informed decision as a viewer. You're like, I don't really feel comfortable donating to a company that takes this much in overhead. I'm just not going to donate. And the people who do donate know how much, you know? So if you have a high overhead cost, that's fine. I just would like it to be publicized and upfront and straightforward. I try to only pick charities that have a 20% overhead fee or less. We've had some that have had 10% overhead fee, and I don't feel like that's false advertising at all. I think that within like the charity ratings, like an A+ or whatever, or like an A is like under 15%. So I don't think that I have to disclose that. And I think most people who know stuff about charities assume that. I don't think people assume that 50% of it is going to not the charity. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the other parts of it. Also, guys, just so you remember, there's a difference between for-profit charities, not-for-profit charities, and what's the third one? I can't remember. Those are all technically considered charities. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about something. Receiving money for doing a charity stream. Okay? Now, I thought about this long and hard, and I sat down and I was like, my gut reaction is to say, how dare you receive money for charity? And I tried to think about it, and I was like, okay, technically, charities pay for billboards, charities pay for advertising firms to get the word out about their charity, and we don't judge that, right? We're not like, how dare this charity advertise that they exist? Okay. But that might be because we expect corporations to act only in the interest of money. I think people don't expect their streamers, like people, to only act in the interest of money. If there's a billboard company, let's say Billboard LLC, and Good Charity LLC, well, not an LLC, it can't be an LLC, but Good Charity pays them pays Billboard LLC $10,000 to advertise, and from that $10,000 they make $15,000 or $20,000, then that cost was worth it, right? Because they made more money than they lost, right? And charities do this all the time. All the time. Oh, yes, this is it. I think it's there's a website called Charity Watches, and their rating is 90% going to the charity is A+. 80% going to the charity is an A. 75% of the money going to the charity is an A-. 72% going is a B+, and anything below that is a C. Okay? So just know within our own metrics, there will always be probably at least 5% overhead fee. More likely 10, 15, 20. Okay? Okay. I've worked in marketing agencies that do work for charities. Agency typically does work for the charity for free to get tax write-offs. Oh, that's probably true. There's probably a lot of companies that do that as well. That's a good point. But I don't think maybe I'm making a mistake speaking for other people, by the way. But for me, I don't think it's unreasonable for a charity to pay for advertising to raise more money for their charity. They had like a financial advisor sit down and they were like, hey, how do we make more money for our charity? Their financial advisor tells them, well, if you advertise in these ways, you should be able to raise more money for your cause. Okay, cool. We will put that money in and it's worth it because we're getting more good for more people. And for me, I think about that and I'm like, yeah, that's completely fine. I expect charities to do that. I don't expect influencers to do that because I don't think of influencers as like money-making machines, like corporations that their only goal is to make money. I think of influencers as people, and I don't expect people to make money off of trying to help other people, right? I don't think people have that initial assumption. And so that I think is kind of the thing that people consider to be scummy, that people are making money, that like the streamer is making 10 grand while all of their viewers are the only ones actually donating to the cause. And they're not saying or disclosing that they're making money. I think that feels a little icky. It feels a little gross, right? Because it feels like I'm being misled. And I don't like that. So I thought about it a little bit more. Okay, I was like really scratching my head. I was like really jogging the noggin. And I was like, what is a universe where it would be acceptable to make money off of a charity stream? And I sat and I thought about it long and hard. Okay. And I came up with one instance where it's acceptable. If you are hosting a charity stream and you are doing something different than your normal charity stream, okay? And you plan a whole day of stuff. Like, hey, at like $10,000, you know, we will put Asmongold in a glass box for the next 24 hours. Some shit like that or whatever, right? Like what Jacksepticeye does. Yeah, like you sit down, you and your team sit down and come up with ways to incentivize people donating money. Jacksepticeye does this, I know, but basically like at every reward tier, the streamer is going to do something that they had to spend a lot of time setting up. Right? So think about it. Like, let's say I sit down and I'm like, I'm going to do a 12-hour charity stream. If we raise $10,000, you know, I will fucking jump in a pool of macaroni and cheese. I don't know how you would get that much macaroni and cheese. Okay. Or if we get $20,000, you know, I'll shave all my hair. Or if we get $30,000, I will, you know what I mean? And you come up with a bunch of stuff. I think if you spend time, now this is where it gets tricky, okay? I think if you spent time, like you spend 12 hours or like a week, right? Sitting there thinking about the ways to optimize making as much money for the charity as possible, and you come up with all this stuff, it's like, oh, fuck, that kind of is labor and you should be compensated for labor. It still feels weird, but at least in that instance, I feel like you're getting compensated for your labor. Now, I don't agree with like performance cuts, to be clear. I'm talking about just baseline pay. I don't agree with like, if you make $1 million, we'll pay you this much. I don't agree with that. Right? Right? And so then we get into this territory, this interesting territory, right? Where shouldn't your labor then be what you as the streamer are donating to the charity? Now, the problem I ran into with this is that I don't think people would do more charity. I think if we made it, let's pretend like we are God and we can make all the laws of the universe or whatever. We rule America, okay? If you made it so that content creators, let's just only talk about content creators. If you made it so that content creators were not allowed to make money off of charities, we would collectively have less money that's raised for charity. Because there's a lot of people who do these things specifically because, oh, well, I'm going to make some money. Okay, cool. And without that stream, they wouldn't have raised $500,000 that went to charity, right? And so now we're in some weird territory where you want to incentivize people to do things like this. And if you have to pay them as a form of incentivization, as a form of incentive, that does lead to a total greater good. And if without giving those people money, we wouldn't have had the charity and we wouldn't have raised that money, that's probably worse, right? If you couldn't make money from charities, Mr. Beast wouldn't have a channel. Holy shit, you got exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, then don't. Sorry. I'm trying not to get stuck and stunlocked with chat because I want to finish my thought. Okay. I want to finish my thought. Okay. So let's go further in. Okay, let's get further in. What then would be a morally acceptable payment to a content creator that doesn't feel icky? And I came up with one. If you plan this whole show, you rent out a space, you get a bunch of people to show up, you put together like a play, you put together a bunch of challenges, you set up a bunch of goals. I think it's okay if the charity pays for the setup of the stream. That doesn't feel gross to me. If the streamer paid $10K to set up everything for this charity stream, I think it's fair for the charity to cover that cost. I think that's very fair. I think that's very fair. I think that's very reasonable. If you disagree, we're just not going to see eye to eye on this. Sorry. But I think reimbursement for all the costs that it took, not labor, but just all of like the cost of setting everything up and stuff. Yeah, I think that that's fine, right? TBH, that made the anxious ickiness go away for me. Yeah, exactly, right? So I think what we should note, all right, the Creator Clash stuff is very different, Nick. The Creator Clash stuff, the reason why it ended up the way that it was is because they didn't expect so many people to pirate it. Based off of last year's or like the year before that's Creator Clash, they extrapolated those numbers to try and assume how many people would pay for it and how many people would pirate it. And I think the first year that they did it, they sold like 20K tickets, and they got like 50K like pay-per-view or whatever. And then they had like 50,000 people pirate it. This year, they had the same number of people watch it. I think it was like about 50K, maybe 250K, like PPV, like pay-per-view to watch it. And then they had 1 million people pirate it. That's why that happened. Okay. So I think all of us maybe can agree that if a streamer sat down, planned some like an interesting day, like 12 hours of charity streaming, and they got a bunch of people together and they bought some stuff to put some stuff together so that they can make more money for the charity, and they're not getting any money personally, but the charity is covering the costs. I think that's fine. I don't feel like the streamer has an obligation to tell me that the charity covered the cost of this charity fundraising event. Seems fine to me. Now, morally, I feel that accepting money, now we're talking about direct payments, okay? I think compensation-based payments are not good. I think like, hey, if you raise 100K, we'll give you 10K. And if you raise 200K, we'll give you 20K. I think that's bad. I think that's very bad. What about paying someone a flat fee? Hey, we'll give you 10K, raise as much as you can, and then they raise $500,000. Morally, it's like, damn, you're making money while everyone else in your community is giving money, and that kind of feels weird. Practically / pragmatically, it's still a net good. I think it's okay to give people a flat fee to raise money, because at the end of the day, that's more good than bad. Like, that's a lot of money that is going to people that need it, right? Morally, it feels weird, and I think it should be disclosed. I think it's okay if streamers make money off of doing charity streams, because that is their labor. That's them putting in all this labor for this charity. If they don't want to donate their labor and they want to make money off their labor, that's their prerogative, right? But it should probably be disclosed. Right? The problem is the 42% number is egregious. Okay. Met. And there was no transparency. That's the problem with the 42%, not anything else. So it's basically kind of like being paid to be a billboard or a platform. Exactly. I think if you make money off of a charity stream, essentially what is happening is you're saying, hey, charities, I am a billboard for you. You can use me to advertise to my audience. And so, again, morally, I feel kind of weird about it, making money off of people in your community donating. Feels a little weird. Pragmatically, if the money is going to the cause, it's still good, right? I would just like to know whether the streamer I'm donating to is doing something because they're profiting off of it, or if they're doing something because they want to do it. And I would want to know that. As someone that is donating to a charity, I just would want to know if the person that I'm donating or like the person that's organizing it is making money. I think that's it for me. For me, that's all I care about. I think as long as there is informed consent, I don't mind. If there isn't, it feels weird. So I just wanted to say all of that. Okay? That's all I wanted to say on the topic. I think that it's hard to say what OTK did or what Asmongold did or anything until they actually talk about it and disclose the information after they're done with their lawsuit. Besides that, those are all my opinions, right? Just if the streamer makes money, it is what it is what it is. I just want them to disclose it. If the streamer is getting reimbursed for planning an event, but they themselves are making $0, that's based. That's super based. Super based. If you book this studio and have like this paintball thing and whatever, a dunk tank and all this stuff, all in an attempt to raise as much money as possible, you're donating your labor and all you're doing is saying, hey, to the charity, I'm willing to do all the work, but I just need you to cover the cost of this. And I promise you, all of this setup is going to be worth it because we'll raise way more money. That's based. That's fucking completely based, in my opinion. And I think it's egregious to expect a content creator to spend all of that time, all of that labor, and then take $40K out of their pocket to pay for a charity event. That feels, I don't think you're going to get that. I don't think it'll happen, is my point. I think we'll have very few charities if that's the expectation. So, yeah, we are talking about the Jacob Wolf story. Okay. I also think as a streamer, as a content creator, obviously if a company is lying to you, there's nothing you can do about it, or the charity is lying publicly and it's committing fraud, there's nothing you can do about it. I think as a streamer, you have an obligation to try and find charities that give at least 80% of their money to the actual cause. And if they don't, you should disclose it. Now, if Softgiving lied and they said, no, we swear 90% of the money is going to go to the charity, we are paying you $5,000, but just know that our charity, 90% of all the money we bring in goes to that. Like, this is in our overhead cost. It's within 10%. We get an A+ rating for our charity. Okay, great. Yeah, then it's fine. It's totally okay. But I think it's I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted with the chat message. Oh, yeah, I think if you have a charity that it doesn't have that percentage, you should disclose that. Okay. That's my stance on it. Okay. Now, I can't judge any of the people that have worked with these companies because I don't know what the details are. Just to circle back for 1 second, I think it's chill if it's a big thing like that. If it's something that they could easily pay for out of pocket, that feels a bit different. Yes. So in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, if I do a stream and we're just doing our normal stream and I have a donation goal on the chat and I have the donation link in chat, I don't think I should make any money off that. I don't think I need to be compensated for my labor. I don't think I need to make any money off that. I think if you're just sitting here doing your normal shit, you probably shouldn't be getting compensated for that. Probably. You know? However, if you're doing a whole last fucking event, at the very least, you should be compensated for planning the event. Not your labor, but just the cost of hiring like camera people, the cost of hiring audio techs, the cost of renting a space, you know, those things. I think that that's fine. Cool. All right. Okay. Those are all my opinions. I think it's very fair opinions. I don't know about you guys. I think it's not, I don't think what I'm saying is like groundbreaking. Basically, it just boils down to if you're putting in a lot of effort and time to plan an event, the charity should compensate the cost of renting the spaces and doing that. Not necessarily your labor, but just the cost of running the event. Like the bare minimum. Okay. I think that that's fine. I think if you're doing a stream, a normal stream, and you have a charity, I don't think you should make any money off that. I think if you are making money off of a charity, you need to disclose it on your screen and you need to tell people that you're making money. And if you know that your charity does not have an A+ rating or an A rating, and most of the money is going to overhead, or like a good chunk of the money is going to overhead, you should disclose that. That's it. Those are my opinions. Entertainers have done charity gigs for decades and they typically don't get paid for them. The venues and staff do get paid. You fucking get it, Steve. This Steve guy, you get it. Yes. So, like, for example, I don't know the details, to be very clear. To be very, very, very clear. I don't know the details on the finances of any of these events. But a good example, just as example, hypothetical. I don't know what the finances of this event looked like. I'm just saying my opinion, okay? Cutie's charity gala, the Rainforest Charity Gala, where they raised, I think it ended up being how much was raised? Like $1 million or something? Close to $1 million? Gala for Good. How much got raised in total? Do you guys remember? Train wreck. Stop. 500K? Maybe it was $500,000. I don't think it would be incorrect. Now, again, I'm not saying this is what happened. I don't think it would be incorrect for Cutie to tell that charity, hey, I'm down to plan this event and do all this stuff, but I need you guys to cover the venue. And I need you guys to cover the sound people and the camera people and just like, just the very, like the basics for running the stream. I think that that is totally acceptable. I think that that's totally acceptable. I think that's very fair. I think it is not unreasonable to ask for that. So that's my stance. If you disagree and you're like, no, the streamer should pay out of pocket. Okay, that's your opinion. Sure, I'm not going to try and change your opinion. Okay, I don't really care. Whatever. That's just my opinion. Now, I'm going to do the thing that I did not want to do, but we're going to do it. We're going to spend no more than 5 minutes. Okay. I'll even put a timer. Okay. And that is responding to chatters that, in my opinion, I think have missed the point of this conversation and just want to be upset about something. Okay. So it's egregious to expect a streamer to donate to a charity it is promoting, but it's not egregious to expect others to donate to a cause you are profiting from. IDK, grouping charity with labor is silly. When did I say it was egregious to expect a streamer to donate? When did I say that? I didn't say that anywhere in the past hour. I don't even know where you got that from. Next one. We're getting into ultimatum game theory here. If you get $1 out of $100, you still got something, ... I literally just said, all I care about is transparency. I want people to know how much of their money is going to the cause. At no point did I say, these people should be grateful. They're getting $1. No. Okay. Next one. Why not just do a tax write-off instead? Considering that you are spelling tax write-off incorrectly, I presume you don't know enough about tax write-offs. Tax write-offs aren't just, I donated $50,000 and now I don't have to pay anything in taxes. It's not how that works. It's not even close to how it works. Okay? There's no infinite money glitch that works like that. All right? I feel as though this is the capitalist trap of, oh, capital did this, so we need to get capital involved. Why not? Why can't all labor be involved, be donated, and then written off in taxes? Sir, why do we still have child hunger? Why don't corporations just give people food and water for free? Why isn't the world, yeah, me and every issue on the fucking planet, dude, all right? Yeah. I don't know what you want me to fix the world. I'm talking about reality, man. I don't know why you're living in this idealistic world, sir. Not gonna lie, I disagree with this. There's a way you can donate time and labor without charging the charity, but why can't you just donate your labor and do a tax write-off? You can't tax write off your labor. That's not how that works. There's no such thing. Okay? Second of all, this is a statement that you can only have if you have no idea how busy the average streamer's work schedule is. Okay? And I know what you guys are thinking, oh my God, she's fucking simping for streamers again. Oh my God. No, I am telling you guys, I don't have any fucking free time. Okay? I don't have any free time. Okay? I have at least 3 friends that are upset with me because I haven't hung out with them in over a month because I haven't had the free time to do it. I have people that I have hired that are upset with me because I haven't had the time to sit down and do planning for content. Okay? I haven't called any of my family members in half a year because I don't have the time for it. Okay? I literally had to stop posting all photo content because I didn't have the time for it. I don't have any time. And I am not a gigantic creator. People, okay, who get 20,000 viewers or even 10,000 viewers are constantly living day to day, minute to minute. Okay? Unironically, you guys see me more than my friends and family do. Not even joking. Being completely real right now. Because I just don't have the time. Do you know what I mean? It got so bad at one point that because I always had so much to do, every single day I was spending 12 hours a day working, and I did that for a month, and I got such bad burnout, I wanted to jump off a bridge, metaphorically. Okay? That's the timer. And you know what I do now? I literally have scheduled gaming time. Because without it, I will go insane. I try to get in at least 6 to 10 hours of relaxation time. Otherwise, I will get such bad burnout, I won't be able to do anything. Like, do you know how busy your work schedule has to be for you to have to schedule relaxation time so you don't go insane? Okay? I've done similar. Yes. Anyone here who's worked really long hours at like a job, you know what I'm talking about. Anyone here who's worked as a lawyer, for example, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? To ask a content creator who doesn't even have any time at all. I think when I was watching Cutie stream the other day and she's like, well, let's take a look. I've got 56 Discord messages to get to. I've got, let's see here, 110 texts to get to. And I have no idea how many Twitter messages I have to get to. Okay. All right. It's way more time than it looks like. And it's fucked up. I didn't sign up for this shit. Are you kidding me? I signed up for getting on and streaming a couple days and relaxing for the rest of the day. Okay? I did not sign up for this shit. I did not sign up for 12-hour work days. I did not get a warning about this. Are you kidding me? Ever thought about hiring a manager or a secretary? Would that be too much money? I don't even make enough money to hire a manager or like an assistant. I don't make enough money. So I can't, which is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And that doesn't even take into account the fact that I would, if I wanted to, I would have to spend probably 30 hours vetting people. Because I'm not interested in hiring someone who can't do what I want them to do. Like, talk to any streamer and you will hear every single one of them complain that they hire an assistant, the assistant doesn't do what they want them to, and then now they have to go and find a new one, and then they have to find a new one, and they have to find a new one. Right? That's kind of the drawback of working not 9 to 5, right? Trading long hours for control. Yeah, and that's why I always say streaming isn't more difficult or easier than other labor. It's different. It has different challenges, and it has different benefits. And so you need like an assistant who's willing to work a lot of hours, who's going to be available for a lot of time, who knows what Twitch is, understands Twitch, and is capable of doing what you want the way that you want them. You know? And unfortunately, I'm so type A, and so I need perfection, and that's very hard to find. Sadly, you know? Enough about my fucking life. It's fucking boring. Actually, a really frustrating problem for content creation in background teams. You can get artists and mods, but a professional who knows the space is rare. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hiring for a normal job is already a nightmare, let alone as a public figure. Hiring for a job as abstract as assistant, then you need to manage as well. Lord help you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, okay. Anyways, I'm not here to complain. All right, that's not what my goal is. My goal is to explain just simply that most streamers, especially large streamers, they are very time short. There is a reason that like every single message any mod and tell them how often does the streamer that you mod for respond on time. The on-time response rate is like it's probably negative. Okay? All right. Anyone here who's modded for someone or has worked with a streamer for anything, you will know notoriously bad. Okay? They're supposed to respond. Yeah. Okay. So the best advice, by the way, guys, I'm going to tell you, if you're trying to message a streamer, keep it short and sweet. Do not send. The longer your message, the less likely they are to read it. And if you're trying to ask a question, keep it like a yes or no question. Or like simplify the question to them. It has to be something that someone can respond to in like a minute for someone. Because I have people that send me like messages this long and I'm like, I'm not spending 15 minutes doing this and then 15 minutes doing the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. I can't. I'm just blah, 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 blah. All right. That's enough. That's enough of that. That's enough about that. Okay. Like, okay, sorry. One last thing. Sorry. One last thing. December, my last December, like last year, it was so dog shit. I was sick for 2 weeks. Okay. So there was a big period of time that I literally couldn't do anything. Like I literally was bedridden and I was like forcing myself to get up and work. And then I was going to host a guest for a week. And then I had a concert to prepare for, which took probably 40 hours. And then I had to go to the day of the concert, and that was a full day, whole day thing. That Saturday was gone. I couldn't do anything that Saturday. Okay? And then the next day, there was some fucking stupid networking event that I had to go to. That day was gone as well. And then I got sick again. Oh, no. And then I went to Disney. And I was like, okay, well, I want to go to Disney, and I want to do this stream. This sounds like a good opportunity. And, you know, I would love to go. Okay, so my Sunday's gone. Okay, and then I get sick again. And then I get so sick that I have a fucking fever for the next 2 weeks. And the very little time and energy that I have, I try and save it. Okay, I try and save it for streaming. When I was sick and I was streaming, just so you guys know, I would stream and then lay in bed for the rest of the day. And then I would wake up and I would do the same thing. I did that for like 2 weeks straight. Okay. That's all I'm trying to explain. Like events will come up that you cannot miss as a content creator. And you have to maintain your streaming schedule and you have to do everything else as well. All the time, right? And again, this is not like me trying to ask for sympathy. Okay? No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay? No. For me personally, working this job is way harder than any other job I've had. And as you guys know, I've talked about having a job that like had a 4-hour commute and 12-hour shifts. And this job is still harder than that one. Which take that as you will. Take that as you will. Maybe for other people it's way easier. I don't know, but I'm just saying for my opinion, the one thing that was great about that job was I went home and I didn't give a fuck anymore about anything else I had to do. And that was so fucking freeing. Oh my God. It was amazing. It was so amazing. But okay. All right. All of that to say, you do not understand how little time streamers have to sit down and dedicate to doing a charity stream. I don't even have enough time for myself or my family or my friends. And you're asking me or any other streamer to sit down, dedicate like maybe probably a week's worth of effort to brainstorming, booking, calling all these companies, making sure that they're good, setting up, doing like a rehearsal, doing runs. Just take out 1 week of time where they are not allowed to do anything else, basically. And they should just donate that labor. Are you like, you're delusional if you think that that is a reasonable expectation. My issue with Cutie is a pretty big one. Her continued relationship with her partner, Ludwig. He's an incredibly problematic right-wing streamer. He's honestly just a younger, way thinner Rush Limbaugh. Finally, someone said it. Finally. Okay. I think I made my point. TLDR. Streamers don't even have enough time for themselves to ask them to dedicate a week's worth of labor where they literally don't have time to do anything else to plan a charity event completely out of the goodness of their heart is delusional. I think it's fair to expect streamers to donate. I think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to ask for all of that. Okay, I'm sorry. What about all the people who work at charities and are already donating their time? There's a lot of people who work at charities who don't donate their time. In fact, the majority of people who work primarily full-time at charities get paid because they have to pay their bills. They are getting paid. To tell a streamer, I don't like that you aren't willing to spend a week, let all of your other content fall to the wayside, don't spend any time with friends or family, plan this charity stream, donate your own money, don't ask the company for any money to reimburse you. And then I think that's okay. I don't even know what to tell you. That's like next level. This next level. This one I think is just like a smaller comment I want to make. I know I said 5 minutes, just extending it just a little. You're talking about perception you've identified. In the end, it's all the same. You're drawing a moral line over a feeling. I mean, I think empathy-based politics are correct. Seems like subjective personal feeling, though. What do you base that on? I'm talking about public perception of this event. I'm talking about public perception of this charity scandal. So talking about how people feel about it is important. Recognizing that viewers don't feel good and they feel icky about stuff is important. So you have to address that before you can talk about any of the moral stuff or any of the pragmatic idealist stuff. Why does charity seem like a scam to me? 1% of my donation actually goes to those in need. We're talking about a charity scam. Don't you think it's a little redundant to say, why does it feel like the charity is scamming me? Guess what? If you don't want to donate to charities, don't donate. Very simple, okay? So it's justified if they try and take my charity money. If they try hard to take my charity money, I think I went over this with the work schedule thing. I think if people are spending a lot of their personal time and they're basically saying, no hobbies, I'm not even going to work, no friends, next week is just going to be just for this charity. I think that is, I think it's unreasonable. And then I think that was it. Okay, whoa, we did it. We're done, yay. Oh, that conversation was so much fun. We did it, yay. Yay. I think the round up your total at the major store thing is a scam. Don't do it. It's a scam. It's a scam. In general, don't give your money to any charities that you haven't researched. If you don't know the charity, don't give the charity money. I'm also pretty sure, but I haven't double checked that like the corpos have like the corporations that organize that get some like specific like tax write-offs for it. But I don't know the details, so don't quote me on that. Some bullshit. Okay. And with this, we circle back to the only thing that matters, IMO, disclosure. You get it. I think you're allowed to do any type of charity stream you want. I think you're allowed to be compensated for it. I think the charity can be shit. I think you just have to disclose it. I think if you're making money, you need to disclose it. And I think if you are promoting a charity that has a really bad rate, you have to disclose it. If your charity has like an 80% going to the funds, that's like acceptable within charities. That's the bare minimum in a charity. That's like an A rating for a charity. Because everyone who's donating knows how much of their money is going where. And I think that that's based. I think that's fine. I think that you can do whatever, but you have to disclose it. And if you don't want to have to disclose anything, don't do those things. Just like Walmart and its angel tree, normies would see it as a positive, but brain broken leftist accountants would be like, they're just doing marketing to buy all the gifts at Walmart. Artistic Puppy, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. Would this have to be a new Twitch policy about charity streams? Yeah. I don't think content creators themselves are ever going to do it. I think if you wanted to hold content creators responsible, like a content creator has to have an already pretty good moral compass. And I'm telling you, more people than you would think, when you put $10,000 in front of them, they'll take it. You know? In fact, probably a good handful of you guys would. Because it's like, from their perspective, like, think about it. Pretend like a company reached out to you and said, hey, we'll give you $10,000, but you have to stream for 12 hours and put a charity link in your stream. A lot of people would. And to pretend, now, if you are someone who wouldn't, great, but do not pretend like it is this unbelievably disgusting behavior to do that. When a lot of people would. And in my opinion, you have to have a very firm moral compass that is not influenced by money at all to not do that. To like, especially if you are an upcoming creator and you don't make a lot of money, it's like, you really think people are going to say, no, I would rather remain in debt. No, I don't want to take the $10,000. I like being in debt. I try. I fucking try. I've never taken money from a sponsor. In fact, I turned down so many sponsors specifically because I don't agree with their business practices. Do you think I want to turn down thousands of dollars? No, I don't want to. No. But it's like, I have to be responsible and have a good platform built on morality. Okay. All right. To be clear, though, if you're really fucking rich and you're still taking the 10 grand, then I do judge you. Okay? Then I judge you because now you're just being greedy. Okay. But if you make like an average salary and like 10K would be like a huge difference for you, most people would. Most people would. Most people would in a heartbeat. Okay. This is the article if you want to read it. It's really fucking long. I recommend just fucking putting the VOD on 2x. But I hope maybe we got to have a good conversation about it, though. Because I do think some parts of it aren't really obvious, maybe. Like certain aspects of this aren't really obvious. Just because you wouldn't know a lot of things unless you had friends that were content creators or you yourself were a content creator. And I think it's important that we have realistic expectations of other people. You cannot do this leftist purity shit where you're like, no, everyone has to be perfect all of the time. Everyone has to be the most morally good person they could ever be and be as selfless as they can be all the time. It's so unrealistic. We just can't. It's not gonna. It's just, we are miles away from that, dude. We're in fucking. If you're an American and you're saying that, like, you are growing up in the most individualistic society that's ever existed in the U.S. We're miles away from genuine generosity from the heart. I think the non-disclosure is the primary issue. I think a lot of people feel the streamers in the article are trying to improve their public perception by being ambiguous about the financials behind the scene. Yes. And so, like, I think the core is, honestly, do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're disclosing it, as long as you're disclosing how much you're making, or even just the fact that you are making money. I'm willing to settle. I'm willing to settle on streamers just being forced to say, I am making money off this. And I think you should, if you know that the charity, now, if the charity lied to you, that's another thing. And you should sue them for that. But if the charity is telling you 50% of the money isn't going to the right place, you have to disclose that. You have to disclose that. Right? Like the ad thing on Instagram? Yes. Yes. And I think those are reasonable expectations of people. And we should have those expectations of people. I think getting to the point where you're like, no, they shouldn't be making any money on it, ever. It's like, dude, that's not going to happen. That's not. We are not near that universe. We're not near that universe. Okay. Let's think about things that we maybe can do, right? Just a little, incremental change, right? Okay. I don't know if you guys agree with everything I said or not, but hopefully you guys understood, or not that you guys understood, but rather that I explained what I wanted to decently enough. You know?